Hello, hello everyone, it's Irene in here once again. I know the music is very, very loud. I need to do something about the settings in here. Um, so, today I'm going to bring you the algorithm prescription. And this is one of those that you told me to play with you. This is from developer Sochiku. Sochiku. Okay. I'm not. I do think it's Japanese. Yeah, let me check it in here. Yeah, I think it is. Yeah, by the name, I would suppose that. And this is. Let me try and see it because I haven't seen anything about this. Romance. Otome. Yeah, I think it's one that is one of those that is just a pure Otome, but I am not certain. Let me check because I haven't seen nothing about this one. Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7. Yeah, I presume it is because I only see like one girl in here, and when it's like this, I'm like, or you can date that girl, or you can only date the guys. So yeah, let's see how it goes. So Xenoria, a city run entirely by AI. Oh. Trust, occupation, romance, everything in life is predetermined by empathy score, which reveals a person's personality. Although it appears to many as a limiting system, as long as the score is high and stable, it is said to be the best town to live in the world. Because it is run by AI, many are attracted by the environment, which does not require extraordinary effort to blend in, which led to the uprising population in recent years. Cocoro, our main heroine, was born in a small island. After graduating from college, she came to Xenoria looking for a job. She managed to find work in the largest hospital, Xenoria General Hospital, and started her career as junior doctor. However, a crack in the quiet and balanced city of Xenoria is starting to develop, glitches in AI and disturbance in order. Cocoro will unravel the secret of the city and pursue the truth about herself. Okay. More things. This one is it's still to be announced, and I hope this is going to be one of those where we're not going to take like a really, really long time. So let me try and set this thing. Oh, it's in Japanese right now. You have a Japanese, you have Eigo. Eigo is English, and I think this one is the simplified, yeah, simplified and traditional Chinese. I'm not mistaken. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it is. Oh my god, what am I going to do in here? It was already in the. Well, how am I going to put it? Because I think it's too much loud. Maybe it's just the entrance. Maybe it's just the entrance. Let's see it. Maybe doing the game won't be this loud. So yeah, sure, we can keep the same one. So we are 26. Oh, she's kind of like me in terms of height. It's kind of like me. I can still manage to be 2 centimeters below her. She was raised on Seawar Island by her grandmother and has come to Xenoria to work as an intern at Xenoria General Hospital. She has a high empathy score and is naturally attuned to the emotions of others. Name your character. Yes. Yeah, I have no idea. I, as I, as I said to you, I am starting this with you. Have absolutely no idea. In fact, I should do something about the. I like to have this faster. I don't know if I can change. At the beginning of a new century, conflicts throughout the world escalated in rapid succession, plunging the entire world into war. Yeah, it's still loud. Wait, give me just a moment. I have to put it a little lower for you. And I'm going to put a bit lower for me. Yeah, it's good. It's good enough. Okay, it's in here. So, menu. So I cannot adjust it, right? Yeah, I don't think so. So apparently I probably have to do it like this. Okay, okay. I have to manage with what I have. So this was the Infinity Crisis, and one of the main catalysts was incendiary emotions. Eruptions of misinformation, demagogy, and desire for retribution. These are what drove the whole world mad. At last, people began to recognize the threat posed by emotional instability and pushed for further research in the field of emotional control. It has now been 50 years since the World War ended. To be honest, if, like, let's hope not, but if another world war would emerge, I would not expect in 50 years for us to have like cities like that already after like a big war. Do you understand what I'm trying? I mean, maybe we would. I mean, 50 years is quite a lot, but I don't know. This is Xenoria General Medical Center. It's a hospital located in Xenoria, the world's first metropolis completely controlled by AI. It's widely known for having all the latest technological advances available in one place, so naturally it's always crowded with patients. I sighed quietly as I stood in a corner of the busy lobby. Are you all right?
ごめんなさい。少しぼんやりしていました。
Ooh, we have like another issue in here. Let's put them all to the maximum. I think that's it. Okay, save. Cocoro was one of the interns at the hospital, and the concern in her voice snapped me out of my daze. So, I thought we were going to do this through Cocoro's eyes, but apparently, no, we are seeing this scene through this girl's eyes. Okay. You're probably a little run down. Why don't we sit over there and rest for a bit?
大丈夫です。研修医さんに取材協力してもらってるのに、休んでいる時間がもったいないですから。
Cool. Okay. You don't need to worry about how much time this takes, okay? I made sure to get permission from my professor.
そうですか。では、お言葉に甘えて少しだけ。
Yeah, it is, isn't it? It's still not loud enough. I don't know why. Not the voices. We sat down in the waiting room chairs and Cocoro gave me a sympathetic smile. It must be rough getting transferred to a new department out of the blue, and you said the request for this PR brochure was sudden too.
そうなんです。
I'll originally been working in the hospital's administration department, but only a few days earlier I'll been transferred to the new PR department. And now I was somehow working on a PR brochure with Cocoro, centered around the theme of medical care unique to an AI-controlled society.
この病院に入った時は、こんな大きな仕事を任せてもらえるなんて考えもしなかった。 ったから、このチャンスを無駄にしたくないのに。
I hadn't expected there'll be such a huge gap between what I wanted to do and what I was capable of doing. I really wanted to do my best, but I didn't seem capable of it, and it made me feel pathetic and useless.
ダメだ。こんなことでイライラするなんて。ネガティブな感情は共感スコアを悪化させてしまう。
Yeah, like see like this image of like this big city. Like imagine you just had like a world war and suddenly 50 years after you just have like a big city like this. Like I don't know, it seems so soon to have like a big city like this after a world war. Because you know, after a world war there's like a lot of things going on like economically and all of it like, and 50 years like in the way we have things right now, that like things go really fast right now, but still, would you be able to have something like this in 50 years? I don't know. So in Xenoria, Dell initiated a world-first system for quantifying and managing emotions, all for the sake of creating a better city. From there, those quantified results came to be used as a measure for one's aptitude and credibility. Is this like Minority Report in here? Probably. The numerical value itself is known as one's empathy score. It's now entering normal for people who obsess about stable empathy scores and to take daily medicine to keep their unstable emotions in check. Yeah, it also kind of reminds me of what is like the other one, it's not coming to me, where they also measured people's emotions. It will come. Eventually it will come. We live in an age where emotions are now evil, anger, fear, envy, hatred, and despair, of course, but also pleasure, joy, passion, and even hope. I reached up, touching the choker I wore around my neck to measure my empathy score and bit back another sigh before it could escape. Just as I did so, Ko, are you all right? You're looking a little drawn.
いえ、もう大丈夫です。そろそろ行きましょうか。
I gave Cocoro a brief smile as I stood up, but she continued to study me worriedly. You don't need to push yourself. Are you sure you shouldn't rest a little longer? I was surprised by how determined she was about trying to stop me. Did I look so unwell that even a future doctor was worried about me? Still, I understood my own condition better than anyone, and I knew where I stood when it came to work too.
記事を作るのが最優先ですので、それに体を動かしてる方が気持ち的にも楽なんです。
Really? Well, okay, but I mean it. Don't push yourself. For now, let me finish showing you around the hospital. Cocoro nodded in response, standing up as well, and then she smiled as she turned to look around the lobby. So the lobby is mainly used for standard administration stuff like general reception, outpatient billing, and the payment counter there. And the pharmacy counter for picking up dispensed medication is,
受付から見て右手をまっすぐ進んだ突き当たりですね。
Giving people directions was a habit I picked up while working in the administration department, and the words came out almost without thinking. That's right, you were working in the administration until last month, weren't you?
ごめんなさい。
Huh? Why are you apologizing?
すみません。次の場所に行きましょうか。
Okay. The outpatient clinic is this way, internal medicine and surgery on the second floor, and specialties like pediatrics on the third floor.
そうなっていたんですね。
I was carefully filming the hospital around us as we went, even as I recorded Cocoro's explanation on my voice recorder. And this is the cafeteria. It's open to the public, so anyone is free to use it. I still haven't actually eaten here yet, though. How about you, Ko?
実はまだなくて、ケーキとエスプレッソが人気らしいです。
That does sound good. We should try them sometime. Her upbeat mood was infectious as we continued the tour, and I was still in a good mood at the end as Cocoro led me out to the courtyard. The courtyard is where patients come to relax and get a breath of fresh air. You often see staff taking a break here too.
言われてみれば私もよくここで一息入れます。心地いい雰囲気ですよね。
I agree. I think it's the most popular place in the whole hospital. When I first moved to the city, I got upset all the time because everything was so unfamiliar, but then I'll come here and feel so much better. Cocoro smiled, looking a little embarrassed by the admission, but there was something so sweet about it that I found myself smiling too. Anyway, that ends the tour, but honestly, I think I learned more from you.
いえ、院内設備に明るくないので助かりました。
I smiled at Cocoro and she pressed a hand to her chest, letting out a sigh of relief. I'm glad to hear it. If you've got any other questions, I'm happy to answer them. If I know the answer, of course. So please feel free to ask.
では、AI 診療システムについて基本的なことを教えてもらえますか？
Of course.
あそこのベンチが空いてますね。座りましょうか。
Hi. The two of us sat down side by side and then Cocoro launched straight into her explanation. The AI treatment system is a medical system based on your physical data that's seamlessly optimized by AI, from diagnosis to prescriptions. AI studies and compares your medical history, environmental suitability, lifestyle, and so on. It can even help with early disease prevention.
つまり、病気になる確率を予測して病気になる前に予防するという解釈でいいですか？
I mean, yeah, it could, but there's always like things that even the AI cannot presume, you know, like in terms of like that. Because you might get healed just, I don't know, you got like a cold, or there are some like kind of a virus that passed to you, you know, there's always like things. I think that should be fine. And sometimes even your body, it's kind of like creating things against your own body. You also have like, it's so weird, but sometimes you have like those things too. I think that should be fine. Apparently the accuracy rate is consistent at 99.9%. Really? I don't think it would be like that in a real thing.
それはすごいですね。AI が当たり前の現代ですが、そこまでとは知りませんでした。
I let out a soft sigh of admiration, but for some reason, Cocoro's expression clouded and her gaze slid away from mine. Yeah, the other day I was like seeing something like that where they used AI to diagnose people. They were doing some kind of an experiment, and it had to do with cancer and like a pre-diagnose of it, and through like running exams and all of it. And it was funny that they found out that in at least 2 of them, the AI was not capable to diagnose it because it went through other ways, not in the ways of data, and of the data that was accessible to the AI. And it was the doctor's intervention that actually made it possible to understand that those 2 people were actually having symptoms of cancer, which is like funny. That's why I was like, Well, 99.9% that I don't think it's like that. No, I don't think so. We are still going to need, I think, to be honest, I don't think that's totally bad that we might have AI for the healthcare. Okay. I'm one of those that I am not in favor of AI for everything in our lives. And I think we are just too much enthusiastic about it. But one of the fields where I see that we might get an advantage with it, it could be the AI. Still, you will always need doctors to like see what the AI is like doing and what type of results we are getting from there. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? More like that. Because as like this experiment that they did, and they found out, oh, the AI was not capable on these two cases to understand that these people were actually having these symptoms, I let out a soft sigh of admiration, but for some reason Cocoro's expression clouded and her gaze slid away from mine. You are right, I do think it's amazing, but honestly, as a medical worker, it makes me uncomfortable. Her voice was quiet, almost inaudible, but it was tinged with sorrow, and it left me feeling uneasy for reasons I couldn't quite explain.
何か気になる点でも?
People say that the greatest achievement that's come from the introduction of AI is that it's made unbiased, a definitive diagnosis possible. Sorry. It was the first time I heard the phrase, and I wasn't sure what to think, but I felt embarrassed about having to ask for an explanation.
バイアスゼロの確定診断とは具体的にどういうことですか?
It means generalizations and doctors' opinions don't interfere, so it eliminates misdiagnosis due to bias, or in other words, prejudice.
それは素晴らしいことじゃないんですか?
Yeah, that's the thing. It's what she said before.
ヒューマンエラーがなくなるんですよね?
That's right. However, I believe that medical care is about the connection between people. I don't think it's just that. Sure, it's good when you have something that is like that, it's based on data and it's based on all of this. But we also have, like, as we always talk about this, we always have like that emotional part too in there, And imagine like I'm going to put you like a situation which is like, imagine that you are passing by a depression, just like this. You are passing by a depression, and the medical AI sees the things that you have, and they just say it like, this person has a depression and he needs to take this type of medicine, and that's it. But imagine, like, you may have a depression, but be like that type of depression where you don't actually need pills. Do you understand? You're just like in a very anxious mode. You are passing by something, you are grieving or something, but it's like a phase of your life that you're just passing by, and you don't actually need pills. Do you understand? Sometimes it's like you just need to talk with someone, you just like, and a doctor, a human doctor, would probably like look at you and kind of like see how you would respond to certain things, how you would actually feel about certain things in terms of like, doctor, I am feeling like this, but I am optimistic. I think I can handle this. If you want me to come back again, sure, but I think we can handle this. Like, an AI would probably not be sensitive to this. It would just be like, this person has this, so take this. Do you understand? So you kind of like take out like that. It's kind of like the perception thing that I was telling you on the other one. It's like we humans have a thing called like kind of like intuition and perception, and this kind of makes you kind of like sometimes see things in another end. and kind of like have hope. There's also this, to have hope in the person that is like in front of you, you know, and an AI will not consider those things into the equations. It's going to be like whatever it is, you know. I think AI could be cool for reaching certain results in terms of like the healthcare, but like in terms of like medical appointments with where you like you need the counseling of a real doctor or something. I don't know how if the AI can actually help a lot. I think we try to put AI as functioning. We have like this constant thing of like we try to put AI functioning like a human being. I tell you this because I told you that I just took a course in AI just some months ago. And I noticed this, which is like people tend to try to put AI as a human being, as like, oh, but I can have an AI as my boyfriend, or like they try to put it as a human thing. And the thing is, I think we need to stop thinking in this way and think about the AI as a real tool, like a tool, and not something that is going to really replace a human being, okay? Converting everything to numerical formulas and using that alone to make decisions feels very cold and inhuman. What if someone has injuries that aren't visible, but they are diagnosed as being perfectly fine? What can I possibly do?
そういう考え方もあるんだな。
Her words came as a shock to me. AI controlled everything in the city, and I'll never met anyone who doubted the system before.
でもこういう場合、どういう言葉を返せばいいんだろう。
I fell silent, unable to offer even half-hearted agreement, and Cocoro looked up again quickly, giving me a flustered smile. Never mind, sorry. I'm getting way too serious here, aren't I?
ああ、大丈夫です。話を聞かせてほしいと言ったのは私ですから、気にしないでください。むしろそういう考え方もあるんだって勉強になりました。
I was trying my best, but the truth was I was feeling less and less confident about continuing this conversation at all. The voice recorder began to tremble a little in my hand, and I tried to tell myself it was just my imagination. But anyway, that's really just my pet theory, nothing more. I don't think it's appropriate for the PR brochure. Let me get back to explaining the basics.
はい、お願いします。
Suddenly, it felt as if all the noise around me was fading away into the distance. I felt overwhelmed by everything Chill said and whether I could ever turn it into a decent article, and it filled me with indescribable anxiety.
私が任されたんだから、ちゃんと記事にしないと。大丈夫。いい広報誌は作れる。作らなきゃいけないんだ。
See, like, she's probably like having anxiety issues because she's probably like not believing in herself to do her work in the perfect way. She's probably like imagining it. So how would the AI see this type of situation? My heart was pounding painfully and my sweat felt cold and clammy. I knew I was breathing normally, but the air felt heavy and stifling. At the same moment, the choker around my neck began to vibrate. I reached up quickly, touching it, and Cocoro started a little, as if she realized what was going on. Are you all right?
すみません。大丈夫です。
But the choker was still vibrating. It was my empathy score accessory. Empathy score accessories existed to measure the empathy score of the wearer and to issue a warning when they were suffering emotional unrest. If the emotional unrest did not abate after that, eventually an alarm would sound informing everyone that they were an emotional deviant. I think it's a deviant or deviant. I'm not certain. Deviant. You probably say deviant. Okay. I think it's like that. I'm not certain.
落ち着け。アラームまで鳴ったら強制診療に回されてしまう。
The more flustered I got, the stronger the vibrations. I squeezed my eyes shut against the panic, and then I heard Cocoro's gentle voice. I think this goes along with what I was telling you. Like, yeah. Ko, calm down. Take deep breaths, alright? Cocoro moved in front of me and crouched down. She pressed her fingers against my wrist, checking my pulse, and gently stroked my back. Your heart rate's a bit high. Maybe you should go back inside and get some rest.
いえ、大丈夫。
I shook my head, but I felt a sudden rush of nausea, and I clapped my hand over my mouth. My stomach felt queasy, and I didn't know what to do. She just got anxious. The situation started escalating because she was anxious about the fact that she maybe would not do a good job with this brochure kind of thing. And then suddenly she started, this is like a panic situation. It was just this, then it escalated because the choker was like beeping, and she starts like panicking, and it starts escalating. You understand? Like, but we are humans. It's kind of like that. How is the AI going to treat this situation? Okay, it started like this. The person is like panicking now, needs probably some kind of restraint. Then it's like emotionally unstable, when it was just a situation even created by the situation of the choker in itself. Okay, so a moment later, Cocoro pressed her hand more firmly against my back as she spoke again. I want you to try and breathe in time with the rhythm of my hand, okay? Don't worry, you are going to be fine. I nodded, and as she continued to stroke my back, I began to take short breaths in time with rhythm, in and out, in and out. But it wasn't enough to chase away the fear spreading right through me. Ko?
ごめんなさい。でも本当に大丈夫ですから。
I could hear my heartbeat roaring in my ears, as if my heart had suddenly relocated to my head, just so it could drown out all the other sound. My hands were shaking as I pulled out a medicine bottle, and I pressed the white pill between my lips, swallowing it quickly. I formed an image in my mind of the pill dissolving slowly inside me, seeping into every part of my body. Like, in a society like this, probably like most people would probably carry like a pill like this with them, because imagine you are having like some kind of a moment, an emotional moment, an anxiety situation, and suddenly like beep 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 beep, you are becoming something that we don't want in this society. Like, imagine how panicking that would make you, you know? I held on to the image as I started taking slow, steady breaths again, and finally the emotional unrest began to subside.
すみません。驚かせてしまって。
That medication.
メディアンスタビライザーです。
Median stabilizer was a medication that forcibly suppressed the release of neurotransmitters in order to maintain a stable empathy score. It worked quickly with every few side effects, so it was easy to get a prescription, and most people were quite familiar with it by now. Yeah, and probably it's going to make you addicted to it, I bet. And I'll be using the medication daily for 3 years now. Oof. How about we rest for a while until your medication kicks in?
ごめんなさい。せっかく取材に付き合ってもらってるのに。
I gave Cocoro a guilty, apologetic look, but she simply smiled and shook her head. It's not a problem, really. I was just thinking it will be nice to take a rest. I was certain she was just trying to make me feel better, but her expression remained calm as we sat there watching children run about.
医療事務で働いていた間は教官スコアも安定していたのに。
But the truth was, I knew what the problem was. I'll just been pretending not to notice.
私は怖いんだ。また教官スコアが理由で職を失うことが。
The PR brochure I'll been asked to create was my very first job as part of the PR department, and naturally my boss had high expectations. But for me, that just made the pressure even worse. If my efforts to create a good PR brochure failed somehow, well, I was terrified of being labeled incompetent.
ダメだ。薬が効くまでは何も考えないようにしないと。
I knew that logically, but knowing it wasn't enough to make the thoughts go away. If my anxiety got any stronger, it would trigger another attack. I knew that too, but my heart just kept beating faster and faster. Worry about the anxiety just made the anxiety worse. It was a vicious cycle, and I didn't know how to stop it.
どうしよう。落ち着かないと。
Stop panicking, stop panicking. The voice echoed over and over and over in my head.
どうしよう。どうしたらいい。
Go. Suddenly, Cocoro spoke my name and reached out, gently taking my hand in hers. Instantly, the tension just seemed to flow right out of me, and I felt suddenly at ease, as if a blustery spring breeze had blown it all away. I lifted my head slowly, looking up at her again, and found her smiling at me, a smile that was gentle, peaceful, and full of warmth. Why don't you try looking up? The weather is lovely today, and the sky looks so beautiful. She was pointing up, and when I turned to look, I realized she was right. The clear blue sky seemed to stretch on forever. And as I gazed up at it, I could actually feel the negative emotions lurking in my heart begin to fade away slowly but steadily. When you're feeling emotionally shaken, you should try surrendering yourself to the breeze. I'm the same. I'm always stuck indoors here at the hospital, so whenever I step out to get some air, I feel so much calmer. The heavy, stifling feeling was completely gone, and both my body and my mind felt so much lighter.
不思議。薬が効くまでもっと時間がかかるはずなのに、今日はすぐ効いてきたみたいだ。彼女の助言のおかげかな。ありがとう、研修医さん。
She has another name. Oh.
研修医さんの言う通りにしたら心がすっと軽くなりました。意識して風を感じるなんて何年ぶりだろう。
I spoke the words softly, and for just a moment, Cocoro's eyes widened in surprise. I'm not trying to tell you not to rely on your medication or anything, but I just wanted you to know that this is something else that works.
はい、ありがとうございます。
Eventually, I finally felt able to keep going again, and then Cocoro's expression changed as if she'd just thought of something. Listen, I just had an idea.
思いついたことですか
No, it is right. It's just she called her another thing. That's what I was saying. Would you like to learn more about the life of a medical intern? Would you like to try interviewing some other people besides just an intern? Oh, actually, never mind. Okay, would you like to learn more about the life of a medical? I mean, it would be cool, but there's also like the thing which is like, we probably would like to meet other people too, right? I don't know. Maybe I should have put in the other one. I was kind of like thinking.
カメラを回しますので、研修医さんの自己紹介からお願いします。
I was kind of like just thinking, oh, maybe this is one of those where you like you pick one and then you can pick the other or something. I don't know. It's like maybe. Okay. I decided to go along with Cocoro's suggestion, which had led to me visiting her at home. Her idea was for me to learn more about the life of an intern, and so I was there to interview her about her life in general. Cocoro was sitting on the sofa, and I pressed the record button and gave her the cue to start, but just as she smiled and began talking. Hello, my name is Cocoro and I work at Xenoria General Medical Center. Right now I'm working hard as a medical intern, and today I'd like to tell you what a day in the life of an intern is like. Cocoro was friendly and animated as she spoke to the camera, but I thought I saw someone else's shadow enter the frame, and I looked up.
何してんの?
Tachibana.
Tachibana?
She just said Tachibana. And like, wait, who's this guy? The way they translated it, okay. The man seemed to appear completely out of nowhere, plonking one hand down atop Kokoro's head. The moment she realized he was there, she hurriedly tried to shoo him out of the frame. Stop that, we are in the middle of filming.
撮影? 何の?
The man gave a quick smile, seemingly unfazed by me or my camera.
それより、うちの猫見てない？またどっか行っちゃった。
I only just got home, so no, I haven't seen him. But never mind that. I locked the door, so what are you doing just waltzing on in here?
合鍵あるから。
Oh, great. I gave you that in case of emergencies. I didn't mean you could just come in anytime you please. I had no idea who he was or what was going on, but despite Cocoro's half-hearted protests, it was clear she'd given him a key to her home.
研修医さん、こちらの方はもしかして恋人ですか?
I spoke hesitantly, but Cocoro started at once, turning quickly to look at me. No way.
どちら様?
It was almost as if he'd only just noticed I was there, and the moment he did, his smile vanished completely. There was something about his expression that reminded me of a stray cat, warily trying to decide if a person could be trusted. Oh, sorry, I should have introduced you. Ko, this is my next door neighbor, Tachibana. Tachibana, this is Ko. She works at the hospital with me, though she's been there much longer than I have.
はじめまして、こうです。
どうも。
Domo. I politely offered him my hand to shake, but Tachibana didn't even budge. He simply went on staring directly at me.
なんか悪いことしちゃったかな。さっき恋人と間違えたの怒ってるとか。
Yeah, because usually when you introduce yourself, he was just very flat by going like domo. Okay, usually it's not like that. You say something else.
先ほどは失礼しました。仲が良さそうに見えたので、てっきり。
Tachibana really is just my neighbor, that's all, but he always just comes waltzing in like this.
まあ、僕にとっては違うけどね。
Huh?
家族っていうか、僕が見てないとどっか行っちゃう猫みたいな。
Cocoro's lips quirked in what looked like a pout as She stared up at him. Let me just tell you something because I can understand everything that they are saying. And I can honestly tell you this is not an auto machine translation. Absolutely, it is a localization. And there's like a lot of situations where I can totally see the localization here. When you say it like that, it makes it sound like you are taking care of me or something, which is great. Yeah, that's what I was saying. That's great.
違うの?
Okay, I can't exactly deny it.
否定しないんだ。
Cocoro gave me a somewhat embarrassed smile as if she could tell what I was thinking. Tashibana is forever coming in here and cleaning up the place. Like, what?
あんたの部屋すぐ散らかる。
Hey, only sometimes.
夜遅くに帰ってきて寝て起きたらすぐ出かけちゃう。
研修医は朝早くから遅くまで忙しいもんな。
I always figure I'll do all the cleaning in one go when I have days off. It's not like I'm being lazy or anything.
私も同じです。立花さんはお掃除が得意なんですか？
普通。
He'll be grinning the whole time he spoke to Cocoro. But as soon as I spoke to him, his expression went flat again.
人見知りなのかな。でも無視して進めるわけにはいかないし。
Oh yeah, I was saying because you usually say yoroshiku when you are presenting yourself. That's why I said like he was being rude. He was just like domo. You know, yeah. But you can like totally notice like, and she keeps treating her as an intern, but in here they just put her like she's just saying the name of our protagonist. So that's why I can totally see like, oh, this is a localization. I bit my lip just as Cocoro spoke again, and I belatedly realized that she'd been answering for him each time he went silent. Tachibana's job involves cleaning, so when he comes here, he really does clean every nook and cranny.
あんた忙しい。休みの日は休んでほしいから手伝ってる。
Well, I really am grateful for that always.
どういたしまして。
Yeah, but with her, he speaks in another way. Cocoro seemed almost bashful as she thanked him, but Tachibana simply gave her a gentle smile in return. Every time he interacted with her, it made me feel like his standoffish attitude towards me was just my imagination. Yeah, because he's gentle with her and he's just like acting rude with Ko.
お二人はまるで本当の兄弟のように仲がいいんですね。
Do you think so?
でも立花さん若いですよね。兄というよりしっかり者の弟みたい。
若くない。
え、おいくつなんですか？
At first I thought he was going to answer, but when he did, I found myself asking him to repeat himself almost at once.
90いや100歳くらいかな。
Okay. Tachibana.
100歳。面白い人ですね。
Hi.
やっと質問に答えてくれたかと思ったら変わった人だな。
Perhaps he said it in an attempt to lighten the mood or something. But he was no longer looking at me. He was back to grinning at Cocoro again as if she was all that mattered.
で、撮影は終わり?
We only just started. Ko, I'm so sorry. Let's try that again.
はい。では研修医さん、頭からもう一度お願いします。
Of course.
ねえ、撮影って何するの?
Ko's interviewing me about my life here.
僕も何か手伝う?
手伝っていただけるんですか?
うん、いいよ。
助かります。では後で普段の研修医さんのことなど伺いたいです。
こいつのこと？
Yes, she's actually working on a new PR brochure about Xenoria General Medical Center. And as a part of that, I offered to let her dig deeper into the life of a medical intern.
ゼノリア総合メディカルセンターって昔研究所だった？
Was it?
昔アンドロイドとか研究してた。
病院内で研究していたってことでしょうか？
いや、病院になる前の話。
病院は今年で50周年ですが。
Ko, you see, Tachibana really loves history stuff, so even if something was 50 years ago, it seems like yesterday to him.
そうなんですね。
I mean, and he's 100 years old, right? Let's not forget that.
なんかごまかされた気もするけど。
Maybe she is. I didn't know what to make of it, let alone how to respond, so I just smiled and let it slide.
やっぱり立花さんって冗談がお好きなんですね。
冗談じゃなくて本当のこ。
That's right, Tachibana really loves jokes. Cocoro clapped her hands over Tachibana's mouth to silence him, but she was much shorter than him, and the movement yanked him backward.
大丈夫ですか
？Tachibana slapped weakly at Kokoro's arm as if begging for help, and at last she relented.
息が止まるかと思った。
Sorry, but that's what you get for telling such weird jokes.
本当のことなのに。じゃあ、二人はお化けのことも知らない？
お化け？え、この部屋出るんですか？
Yeah, it's kinda loud for the voice acting, but I cannot do nothing about it. Yeah, you saw I already put the voice at maximum. The realtor never said anything about that.
この家じゃなくて病院。暗い地下から聞こえてくる助けを求める声。
Tasuke, okay.
あの研究所、アンドロイドだけじゃなく他のものも研究していたから。
Okay. What other stuff?
アンドロイド研究に必要だったんだ。その犠牲は。
No way.
ちょっと待ってください。お化けが出るなんて都市伝説ですよ。確かに働き始めた頃、そういった噂はありましたけど、実際に見た人はいませんし。
Well, they would probably just deny it, right? I knew it was true that Xenoria General Medical Center had opened directly after the Infinity Crisis. But it seemed only reasonable to assume that his story was just an urban legend, and more importantly...
だからこれ以上、研修医さんを怖がらせないでください。
Ko?
ごめん。怖かった？
No, look, I'm 26 years old already. I'm not scared of, well, ghosts.
嘘。震えている。こっちおいで。
Tachibana? Tachibana calmly picked Cocoro up and sat her down in his lap, and my jaw dropped a little.
ほら、これで怖くない。
Hey, how many times have I told you not to do this in front of other people?
つまり、二人きりの時はしてるのかな？
そうだっけ？
さっきの撮影の続きをしたいんですが。
どうぞ。
Don't you dare! The next thing I knew, Cocoro was giving Tachibana a good scolding and sending him off to the kitchen for a while. Okay, are you ready to start?
はい。では、どうぞ。
Dozo. Hello, my name is Cocoro and I work at Xenoria General Medical Center. Right now, I'm working hard as a medical intern, and today I'd like to tell you what a day in the life of an intern is like. A few minutes later,
はい、OK です。
I stopped recording and looked up, and Cocoro pressed a hand against her chest, letting out a big, long sigh. Whew, I was so nervous.
とてもいいインタビューが取れました。内容がわかりやすかったので、記事にするのも問題ないと思います。
終わった？
The moment the interview was done, Tachibana opened the kitchen door again as if he'd been waiting for us to finish the entire time. Yes, sorry to keep you waiting.
コーヒー飲む？
Huh? Did you make coffee for us?
豆がないからインスタントだけど。
Oh, I'll have some then. Thanks.
あんたもコーヒー苦手じゃないなら。
はい、ありがとうございます。
Tachibana brought coffee for us all and then sat down next to Cocoro on the sofa.
思ったよりいい人なのかも。橘さん、もしよかったら一つ聞いてもいいですか？
どのこと？
研修医さんのことです。私から見て優秀な研修医さんってイメージなんですが、家での様子はどうなのかなって。
As soon as I spoke, Cocoro started coughing like her coffee had gone down the wrong pipe.
大丈夫？
Yeah. Tachibana began to rub Kokoro's back soothingly, but his expression turned thoughtful as if he was considering his answer.
そうだな。僕にとってこいつは優しい人。真面目で努力家。芯が強い人だと思う。あとすっごく頑固。あとはそうだな。僕はこいつに恩を感じてる。だから好きだと思う。
好き？
好きか。
Oh, they put it something else. Okay, he's fond of her. That seems like an odd way to put it. She didn't set this. Okay. I wanted to ask whether he meant it romantically or some other way, but I couldn't quite bring myself to, not when Cocoro was right there. It's kind of embarrassing when you praise me to my face like that.
あんたのおかげで今の僕があるんだし、あんたには本当に感謝してるから、迷惑をかけたりするつもりはないよ。
Tachibana smiled as he said it, and his gaze was so gentle and warm, it was as if he was gazing at someone he truly adored.
橘さんは研修医さんのことを家族みたいなものって言っていたけど。
The way he was looking at her in that moment made me think there was definitely more to it than that.
橘さんってもしかして研修医さんのこと。
Ah! Sorry. I cannot. Like my voice, my voice cords, right at this moment, cannot. A cat appeared out of my brain is starting to be very confused because I am like thinking with my own native language and trying to think in English and also like digesting the Japanese too. It's just like it's going to start to be like this. Okay. A cat appeared out of nowhere, almost as if it was trying to stop me from finishing my question. I jumped in surprise, my heart thrumming, and the cat leaped straight up onto the table, landing right in the middle. Oh, hey, don't do that. Cocoro's voice was flustered as she reached out to grab the cat, but it fluffed up at once and began to scrabble away from her. The cat bolted across the table in a sudden panic, knocking the video camera, the voice recorder, and even the coffee cups flying.
Oi!
I reached for the cat, and at the same time, Tachibana grabbed hold of Cocoro's arm. He pulled her sharply towards him, protecting her from the hot coffee that was suddenly spilling everywhere.
怪我は？
No, I'm okay, thanks. You're a lifesaver.
あんたが無事ならそれでいい。
よかった。誰も怪我しなくて。
But even as I breathed a sigh of relief, scalding hot coffee spilled off the edge of the table straight into my hand. A co? I winced, yanking my hand back towards me, and Cocoro pulled free of Tachibana's arm and rushed over to me. You burned yourself, didn't you? Come with me.
いえ、大丈夫ですよ。
No, you are not. Cocoro led me straight into the bathroom and turned on the tap. Soon, cold water was running over the burn and the pain began to recede.
本当にもう大丈夫ですよ。痛みも引いてきました。
I smiled and started to pull my hand away, but Cocoro shook her head, her expression serious. No, you have to cool a burn properly or it will get much worse later.
大したことないのに。
I gave Cocoro a wry smile, but that only made her frown in response, her gaze intense as it met mine. I know I'm still just an intern, but as a doctor, I just can't ignore someone who's hurt.
研修医さん。
It was clear to me that she was genuinely worried about me, and it filled my heart with warmth.
ありがとうございます。
Suddenly, I found myself smiling at her, but her gaze dropped away, and she hesitated for a moment before speaking again. I know this is probably none of my business, but are you forcefully suppressing your emotions? My heart skipped a beat at those quiet words.
どうしてそう思ったんですか？
Even when you burn yourself, you were still trying to keep your emotions in check, weren't you? It felt like you were trying to dull your response to the pain. And on top of that, you are really putting a lot of effort into the PR brochure, to the point that the pressure caused a panic attack. But outwardly, you look as if you're trying your best to stay calm.
私、そんなにわかりやすかったですか？
I laughed a little as I spoke, trying to dodge the question, but Cocoro pressed her lips together, her expression still serious. No, it's just, well, I'm more sensitive to other people's feelings than most people. She smiled a little as she spoke, but there was something sorrowful about it that made my heart ache in my chest.
なんでだろう。研修医さんが悲しそうな顔すると、守ってあげたい気持ちになっていく。研修医さんの言う通りかもしれません。
I am?
私、共感スコアが乱れることが怖くて、だから些細なことで感情を動かさないようにって気持ちを抑える癖がついていたのかも。
Emotions themselves aren't bad things. I believe that they remind us that we are alive.
そうですね。
Cocoro's way of thinking was a little unusual, but maybe that was why her words seemed to resonate so strongly with me in that moment.
感情そのものは悪ではないか。ありがとう、研修医さん。あなたの言葉でちょっと救われました。
If it helps you feel better, then I'm glad to hear it. We looked at each other and suddenly we were both giggling. A moment later, Tachibana appeared in the doorway, the cat in his arms.
大丈夫？
はい。
You caught him.
反省してるから許してって。
大丈夫ですよ。本当に大したことなかったので。
でもお詫び。時間あるならご飯食べる？
Huh?
いいんですか？
多い方が楽しい。
じゃあお言葉に甘えていいですか、研修医さん。
I'm fine with you staying for dinner, but... Cocoro hesitated, her expression clouding as she turned to look at Tachibana again. Tachibana, when you say dinner...
僕が作った。
Right. Oh, she's not happy about it.
どうしたんですか？
Well, you see, Tachibana is very good at housework, but cooking is... well...
修行中。
Hmm.
ああ、なるほど。
That was enough to tell me everything, and I smiled brightly as we returned to the main room, but a delicious smell was wafting out of the kitchen.
いい匂いですね。
Yes, the smell is good at least, but
そうだ、レオンも呼ぼう。
oh, good idea. Yes, let's do that.
レオンさんってどなたですか？
We went to the same college, though he's a bit younger than me, and he's ended up living with Tashibana. I'll just go get him now. A few minutes later.
はじめまして、レオンです。先輩の後輩で、今はお隣さんです。
Leon's overall style was pretty loud, but sorry, just give me a minute because I have something here. God. Leon's overall style was pretty loud, but he came across as very polite, and I offered him a friendly smile.
こうです。研修医さんと同じ病院の広報です。
先輩と一緒の職場？羨ましい。
え？
あ、自分は大学卒業後はリモートでエンジニアしていて、もう3年くらい経ちますけど。だから職場の先輩ってどんな感じか知らないから羨ましいなって。
そうなんですね。失礼ですが今おいくつですか？
When Cocoro had said he was younger, I expected by maybe a year or two at most, but he looked and sounded a fair bit younger than that.
22です。
22？ え、大学卒業したのって。
飛び級制度使ったんで19の時っす。
すごいですね。
いえいえ、先輩の方がもっとずっとすごいですから。
Leon spoke the words without hesitation before turning and heading into the kitchen to join the other two.
慕われているんだな。
はあ？先輩じゃなくて立花が作ったんですか？
Leon's incredulous voice seemed loud enough to be heard outside, and I beat back a smile.
レオンうるさい。
うるさくはねえだろ。ああ、先輩の手料理食べられると思って急いで仕事を終わらせたのに。
I'm sorry, Leon. If you really hate the idea, you don't have to.
いや、先輩と一緒に食べられるならこいつの料理でも我慢するっす。
Oh my god, there's a lot of noise. I don't know if you can hear it. It's just because it's so windy today. Like, it's hot as hell, but it's so windy outside. It's a crazy thing. Leon wandered reluctantly back to the table and sat down, and Cocoro smiled warmly at him. It'll be nice for us to all eat dinner together. Ko, feel free to take a seat.
はい。
せめて今回は飲み込める味付けだといいけど。
Leon's words sounded like a bad omen, and sure enough. The food we were served looked delicious and smelled delicious, but everything tasted strange in a way that seemed at odds with itself.
なあ、なんで焼いただけの肉がこんなにまずいんだよ。
まずい？
Tachibana bit into the ultra rare steak as he spoke the words, chewing it calmly. So calmly, I couldn't help but wonder if his taste buds were working.
まず火がちゃんと通ってないだろ。レアどころじゃない。半生って言うんだよ、これは。お前、よくこれを人に食べさせる気になったな。
周りは焼けてる。
Yeah, that's it.
だからだよ。なんで外は炭なのに中身はレアになってんだ。
That's also like a cooking way of like making things, you know.
パンも耳だけ硬いし、どう料理したらこんな。
キャンキャンうるさい、チワワ。
Chihuahua.
誰がチワワだ。
Come on now, calm down, both of you. You're so loud, you're going to scare Ko off her food.
あ、悪い。
いえいえ、賑やかなのは楽しいですから。
コウさんいい人。レオンはうるさい、小さい、チワワ。
だからチワワじゃねえ。
ほんと賑やかだな。
Tachibana and Leon were almost like a comedy duo. The way they went back and forth, and Cocoro and I were both giggling as we ate. It was a strange tasting dinner, but even so, for some reason, I really enjoyed it. By the time we were finished eating, it was completely dark outside.
すみません、こんな時間なのに送ってもらって。
No, not at all. We are walking you there because it's so late. When it came time for me to leave, Cocoro and Tachibana had both insisted on walking me to the train station.
この辺りは中心部と違って少し物騒だから。地元民でもこの時間の一人歩きは危険だし。
そうなんですか？
I hadn't realized it was that bad, and I felt suddenly uneasy, but as I glanced over at Cocoro, she gave me a reassuring smile. We are fine, really, and Tachibana's here too. So long as you don't go into any dark alleys on your own, you've got nothing to be afraid of.
あんた、そこに段差ある。
Oh my god, dude. Huh? Oh, ah.
研修医さん。
Cocoro stubbed her toe on the step, and suddenly she was falling forward. I hurriedly reached out to grab her arm, but Tachibana was faster and he caught her around the waist, steadying her. Phew, that was close.
だから段差があるって言ったろ。
You could have said it sooner. But despite the way they were both grumbling at each other, Tachibana's gaze was gentle as he studied Cocoro. And it seemed clear to me that Cocoro trusted Tachibana absolutely, without question.
やっぱりこの二人お似合いかも。
Ko, what are you grinding at?
橘さんと研修医さんの仲の良さ
So
が
you say greening.
微笑ましいなって思って。
I keep saying this comes from long way. I know it's greening. I just keep saying it like that. I was just thinking how envious I am of how well the two of you get along. Okay. What? Cocoro started a little at my words, her cheeks turning pink. Even that reaction seemed adorably sweet to me, and I reached out impulsively, catching hold of her hand.
私もっと研修医さんと仲良くなりたい。今度から研修医ちゃんって呼んでもいい？
Cocoro's eyes went wide at my words, but a moment later a sweet smile lit up her whole face, and she nodded. Yes, of course, I was thinking how I'd like to get to know you better too.
じゃあ改めてこれからもよろしく研修医ちゃん。
She didn't actually say this, but it's fine. Me too. We both held out our hands and shook firmly, and then suddenly we were both grinning at each other. Oh my god. As I gazed at her happy expression, I felt certain that the two of us were going to become great friends. It was strange how much I wanted to protect her smile and how strongly I wanted for her to be happy. And I felt unbelievably lucky to have met someone who made me feel that way. For the first time, I even felt grateful that I'd been asked to create the PR brochure.
じゃあ今日はここで送ってくれてありがとう。
We reached the train station and I turned to face Cocoro and Tachibana, who both nodded agreeably. See you tomorrow, Ko. Have a safe trip home.
また明日。
お疲れ。
Mata ne. I waved, and the two of them turned and headed back the way we'll come. For now, it seemed that they were just friends and nothing more, but if by chance their relationship was to turn romantic in the future...
その時は全力で応援しよう。
The thought made me smile as I turned to head through the ticket gates into the station. Oh, okay. So, we only met two guys, but we can meet at the... I think the other one if I click on the other option. So, let me just see if we can do that.